In this video, I'm going to share how you can play against a Queen's Gambit. So against a Queen's Gambit, all you have to do is play d5 followed by e5, the Alvin counter Gambit. Now with this, your opponent continues with capturing the pawn, and this is going to be one of the common variations that you are going to observe. So all you have to do is simply push the pawn forward such that your opponent would try to remove this pawn also. Now how can he do that? So you can play e3 and try attacking it. His plan is quite simple. If you take, then he'll go with queen take queen, and after you take it, you lose the castling ability, and then he can easily capture it back from the bishop. So this is one of the basic plans that white is having. So all you have to do is crush this. How you can do is you may simply take out your bishop giving check. Ultimately your opponent take out his bishop and then you may simply capture this pawn. If your opponent captures your bishop, all you have to do is capturing the pawn and giving check. If your opponent captures it, then he loses the queen. So obviously, your opponent won't sacrifice a queen. So he'll play king e2. Now, many players as black, they create a blunder and that is bishop g4. Well, this is absolutely a blunder because your opponent can develop the knight and bring the knight in between and your plan gets to be failed. So it is important for you to promote it to a knight giving check. Now this is one of the forcing moves. So if your opponent captures, all you have to do is play bishop g4 check, he move the king and you simply capture the queen. So this was trap number 1. Let's have another trap on the board, and this is when your opponent play knight f3 instead of the move like e3. So what you may do is simply take out your knight cause you have to attack this pawn and defend your pawn. Your opponent develop his knight. Now these are one of the common most played move. His idea will be that he'll be defending this pawn, he'll be looking forward for a3, b4, c4, a lot of them. These can be one of his variations. All you have to do is play queen e7. With this, you will be strengthening this diagonal and attacking the e5 pawn. Now here, the most common move as I told is a3. As I told about b4 and b4 and then c5. All these can be possible. So you'll play queen to e7 and then capture the pawn. Now here, the most common played mistake is knight take on d4. And if we go with knight take d4, then he's gone. Because knight to d3 and that's a checkmate. Let us have another trap and the third trap on the board. So over here, after d4, you simply develop your knight and you allow your opponent to play c4. You'll play e6 and attack the center with the move d5. Now this is the East Indian defense. Over here, knight comes to c3. Over here, you can develop your knight. If your opponent captures the pawn, you can take it backwards and then white take it. Now like this, he'll be attacking the knight and pinning your queen. So this is one of the advantages that white believe is having, but actually is not. Because you can sacrifice the queen, and if your opponent captures the queen, you may simply take out your bishop, giving check. And guess what? Your opponent has no other choice instead of playing queen d2. Ultimately, you can take his queen and then capture the bishop. So if you count the number of pieces, you'll observe that you are already up a minor piece. So let us have the trap number 4. And over here, now you develop and instead of capturing, if he is playing something like development, for example e3, you may simply play c6. Your idea is to take out the queen, pinning the knight, followed by knight e4. That was what I was saying. So he play knight f3, you'll play queen a5, bishop d3. Now like this, he knows that you can play knight e4. So that's why he is playing bishop d3. Try to confront your position. All you have to do is go with d takes c4. Now with this, you will be attacking the bishop. If your opponent captures, you play knight e4 and that's it. You can even take out your bishop b4 and over pressurize the knight. So the knight is already attacking it, the queen is also attacking it. And one more thing, the knight is also attacking the bishop followed by the queen. So if your opponent play queen c2, try to defend, you may go with knight take on bishop. After he take, you may take it. And like this, you can also win the minor piece. So let us have the final trap of the video, and that is playing pawn to e6. The queen's gambit decline. All you have to do is wait for your opponent to play knight c3 and then you play c5, the Taras defense. The idea is quite simple. If your opponent captures the pawn, and this is going to be one of the popular moves that your opponent is going to play. So you will simply capture the d4 pawn. Always capturing the central pawn is very important. Your opponent capture it backwards, you may develop your knight and then you will attack the queen. Now here, you can expect your opponent to take his queen backwards because he has to protect it. Otherwise, if he captures the knight, then queen take queen. So your opponent play queen d1. You may capture the pawn. Now you might say queen can easily capture, which is supported by the knight. What am I doing? Well, so you can simply develop your bishop and allow your opponent to trade the queens. After trading, you can take it back from the rook and you can open up this file such that you are controlling the squares where the king can now no longer jump. So your opponent's king is kind of trapped. All you have to do is knight e4 and then knight c2. That's one of the checkmate. Now your opponent is like you can play knight b4 and look forward for like this. So he play a3. What you have to do is play knight e4. Ultimately he play rook b1, you play knight c2 and that's a checkmate. So this is how you play against the queen's gambit. And if you enjoyed this video, do like the video and thanks for watching.